What's up, Rewatchers? It's Dustin here to let you know that this show may feature strong or inappropriate language, so please be mindful of who around you can hear it. Also, we assume that you've at least watched the show or the episode we will be discussing. If not, just be warned that there are spoilers ahead. But really, it's your fault because these shows have been out for a while. Enjoy. I wish I could fast forward or rewind time.
It's the way that you say it, the accent.
I can't help it.
I love it. So
I
great.
try.
No, you do. I think you've mastered it, to be honest. Like, I'm impressed.
Welcome back to the Rewatch Recap. Hello, Rewatchers. It's Dustin here, and I'm back again with Chelley from Tales of Point Horror Book Club.
Yay!
Love Chelley.
Oh, love Dustin.
Wave our hands. Okay.
I don't know why I did that.
And it's just two of us doing this.
Yeah. We're just like,
oh, goodness. So, yeah, we're back for Season 2 of Misfits, Episode 2 of Season 2, or Series 2. Series 2. And my friend was actually talking to me about this. He goes, it's series in England because they're shorter, they're not seasons. Seasons are a full 22 to 24 episodes. And I'm like, okay, I think they're changing the rules on that now, but traditionally he's right.
Yeah.
But on to Misfits. I got a controversial question. I don't know.
Oh.
Somewhat to ask you. So out of the, quote, villains that we've seen so far in the show, which power would you want to have?
Oh.
And I can give you mine, so while you're thinking.
Yeah, go on then.
Mine would definitely I'm leaning more into being the cult girl.
That's
just
what
to get people to do what I want them to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I want you to do this. I just don't want it to be like, you could be so much better, and then everybody's like me. I don't want everybody to be like me.
But
if I could have like a phrase that I can get them to do what I want at different times, it'd be perfect.
Yeah. See, as soon as you said that, the first thing that sprang to mind was the cult lady. Because I was like, one, I'm kind of fascinated with cults, and I'd just like to get into the mind.
Like to run one.
Yeah. I'd like to get into the mind of someone who is running one just to see what makes them tick, everything. I'm just fascinated
and
by
how these people could just follow suit and just jump on board. Yeah.
So for that reason, that's why I was thinking, definitely cult lady. That would be so super interesting. And also as well, like you say, then you can just with the power of suggestion, because of the power, you could get people to do what you want, really. So then
I have the power.
So wondering if it works on animals, because then when I say to my kitten, please go back to sleep at 3 a.m, then she goes back to sleep.
Oh, that'd be awesome, wouldn't it? Just please lay down and just calm down, please. Just calm down. Oh, I would love that for my dog. She's up and walking all the time and panting in my face. Ugh.
Oh, but we love them. But we love them.
Yeah, we do. We do. Our own little cult.
Yeah.
Our own little cult members. We love them.
Oh, yes, really. We've got it, really.
Okay, well, that's good. I'm glad we got that settled.
Yeah, I like that we picked the same one.
Yeah. So, okay, we're going to get into episode 2 of series 2. And they only have number names, and I totally didn't name the first one, but I don't know what that one would be. I'll just be like, Welcome Back, Nutter. That'll be the that'll be the name of the first one.
Monkey Slut.
Monkey Slut. Oh yeah, Monkey Slut.
That's what you have to call up.
And so this one I'm calling it, Oh Brother, There Art Thou.
No way, because that's what I've written on my notes. I'm not even joking.
Are you kidding me?
No,
that is so weird.
I would call this, I put Brother, Where Art Thou? I put.
Okay, so I put There Art Thou.
Yeah.
She said, That's
No
so weird.
way. That is weird.
Me and
Spooky.
you, I think we are in a cult. It's
Yeah, we're in
strange.
tune.
Whew. Okay. Previously on Misfits, Nathan came back from the dead. All that good stuff happened. They are back together. Blah, 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 blah. They have a new social worker. There's a guy in a mask saving everybody. He did so a little bit in the last season and series. And now, he's still doing it. He's still jumping off buildings and saving them from different situations. And like I said before, Nathan's back from the dead, and he calls himself immortal, but really he's invincible. Because we don't know if he's going to live forever because he hasn't.
No, exactly.
Can't say that until you've lived past everybody. Now we hear an old-fashioned bluesy type song as we see some guy driving down somewhere, intercut with Nathan and the gang all hanging out on the rooftop, sunbathing. And Nathan's pulling out his, dropping out of his coveralls and rubbing lotion all over his pasty, thin legs.
I have to say, I was just a little bit turned on, just a little bit.
Really? Yeah, no, this did nothing for me.
It's just like, I
don't know. When he pulled those trunks right up his ass crack, it kind of, I don't know.
I think it's just his whole demeanor in that moment.
Just the goofiness of it all just kind of got you. Okay,
yeah.
I could see that. Well, anyway, so while he's doing that, while he's rubbing lotion all over his ass, this guy's still driving, and we see he's got somebody in the boot of his car, aka the trunk. And anyway, so this guy gets out of the car and he pulls up and he notices them on the roof, and he sees Nathan, of course, rubbing all the lotion on his ass. And he's like, "Hey, I'm looking for Nathan." And Nathan's like, "What do you want with Nathan?" He goes, "I'm his brother." And he goes, "What?" Okay, that's a little weird. So yeah, they have the same dad. Nathan never knew, and Nathan just pretty much just accepts it right then and there. Like,
yeah, which I kind of admire in him for doing that. He just accepts it.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, this could be real.
No questions asked. You're my brother.
Yeah.
That's right. I mean, who would claim to be that they weren't, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Then we hit Misfits theme. Here's a Misfits song right now. We're going to go wahoo. We're going to get it down one day.
Every time, one day.
So, okay, later at the bar, Nathan, he's pissing in a bathroom trough, and he's calling his dad. And it turns out the guy in the boot of the car is the dad, because the phone's ringing, and we kind of only see part of his face, but we figure that's who it is.
Yeah, I love that. I love he's in the trunk of the car.
Hey, Dad? Dad? And you're like, answer that. I'm gagged, bound and gagged. So yeah, Nathan leaves like a "thanks for not telling me I had a brother" type of message, and he goes back to the table with his new sibling, and we still haven't gotten his name, of course.
Yeah.
So it isn't really a good deal for Nathan, though. I think something about it is not working out for me. But
yeah,
I digress. We go back to the community center, and the gang is cleaning up river waste.
It looks like something. Or
like
it could
stuff that was dumped and maybe washed up kind of the bank.
Yeah, it doesn't look very nice.
And it looks bad, and they're all wading around and
Yeah.
And the probation worker walks out. He goes, "Where's Nathan?" And Simon's like, "Well, he's in the locker room." And the probation worker's like, "I was just in there. He wasn't in there." And why don't we know this guy's name yet? I don't know. We still haven't learned his name.
I love that that's a trend.
Why don't they tell people names? I don't know. Anyway, so Kelly says they had a family emergency because his brother turned up, and the worker's like, "Well, how's that an emergency?" And Alicia says, "He has cancer."
Oh.
And Kelly's like, "Yeah, it's really sad. He was crying and shit." So Nathan took him for a drink. I can't help it. When I do her voice, it's really sad.
Yeah, I love how you do the accent.
So the worker just looks at me and goes, "His brother doesn't have cancer, does he?" And Alicia's like, "Well, he could have it." And Simon's like, "He should feel for lumps in his testicles."
Oh, just goes too far.
Well, but you know what? Do what Simon says, kids.
Yeah, I was just going to say, but also very, learn. We learn from this.
We'll grow together and watch Misfits. Remember, guys, if girls can check their boobs, you can check your balls.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'd want to do that, but Anyway, so the worker just walks off. He's like, whatever. And we get a quick commercial break, and we're at the pub, and we see Nathan and his brother talking about their shitty dad, and they toast with Nathan going, fuck him.
Yeah.
And the brother notices a girl from across the room, and Nathan says, oh, I've hooked up with her already. Sure. And she even tells him, he goes over, like Nathan goes by, and he's like, hi. She's like, fuck off, like immediately.
Yeah. It's almost like you get the impression that when he says I've been with her, I would say no, he's tried, and she's like,
in his head, he has.
Yeah, she's just had enough, and she's like, leave me alone.
Not doing this, thanks. But anyway, so he goes to the bar, and he kind of hits on the bartender, and she's like, she's over it. She slams her hand down and like freezes the bar and breaks all these drinks.
Yeah,
and he's like, cool power, and she's like, what? You know about the powers? Oh, yeah, we've got one. I'm immortal. And she's like, oh, my God, I never met anybody who knew anything about this. And so they're kind of bonding. And that's when she kind of, when he actually talks to her like a person, she actually connects with him. I'm like, have you not picked this up yet, Nathan?
Because I think you get the impression straight away that she's kind of felt alone a little bit with this power. Like she hasn't told or spoke to anyone before about it.
Yeah, it's sad. But
yeah,
so the boss walks up and he gets onto her like, why are you breaking these glasses and stuff? And he's like, get to work or whatever. And Nathan's like, who's this? And the guy just like full out decks him, like, right out. Like, it's kind of a bit of an overreaction. The only thing I can think of is he's dealt with Nathan before. I would hazard a guess
there's some history.
There's gotta be, but he's like, who's this? But Nathan never remembers anybody, so that's the truth, Anyway, so they're outside in the parking garage. His brother's like, yeah, we'll go back up there and we'll mess him up, whatever. But then the bartender girl shows up. She's like, thanks, but here's my number, and hands it to Nathan. And I'm like, hello, you humanized her. That's why she likes you.
Yeah, exactly. But he still doesn't comprehend that that's why he got the number, I don't think. Like, he doesn't learn
he's
from
so smart, but yet he's so stupid at the same time,
Yeah, definitely.
So then we notice that the brother's, oh my God, my car's missing. He can't find it. And then he's like, he has to fess up. The reason why he's freaking out so much is because the dad was in the boot of the car. And he's like, oh, great. And he's like, I went to see him and confront him. And then we ended up having an argument, and I hit him with a toaster and put him in the trunk of the car.
And I think Nathan says something like, Dad? As in, our dad? Or something. Why was he in the boot of your car? And then the brother goes, because he's a twat.
Yeah.
Which is like a slang term.
Well, we know. We use it here a little, not much.
Oh, okay. Brilliant.
We know that one. Yeah. And so, basically he's like, you got him. I never got him as a dad. And Nathan's like, I didn't really get him as a dad, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so they look for a car and they see one that's all burnt up. Like it recently just like went out. The flames just went out. And they're like, oh my God. So they think it's his car. So they're trying to open up the trunk and they can't. And Nathan can't because it's burning his fingers. So he has to like kick open the trunk and there's nobody in it. So it wasn't that car, thankfully. Right?
Oh, dear. Yeah.
But then some guys drive by and they're going nuts. They're doing donuts and spinning out. And he's like, hey, that's my car. That's the car.
But at this point, do we believe him? Because he's already
he just stop it. Every car's my car. I think you have some kind of dysmorphia with cars. You don't know which ones are with. But they stop and like these three guys get out and they're just hanging out in the car. And Nathan's like, all right, I'm going to distract them. And when I get them away from the car, you go jump in the car. Okay, sure. And so he walks up, he goes, how much, fellas? And they're like, oh, you want gear? Which for us Americans, that's most like basically you want some drugs, basically.
Yes. Yeah.
We don't say that here, but we don't say gear, but that's cool. And Nathan's like, no, I want to pay you $100 to, wink, wink, a bit of prostitution, basically. And the main guy calls his bluff and he's like, really? And he's like, yeah, he goes, all right, let's go somewhere private. And so they walk off, all three of them with this guy. Yeah. And And the brother sneaks in, he gets his car, and they don't hear him shut the door. They don't hear him start up or trying to start up the car for the longest time.
They're just
So he gets it
focused on
started.
Nathan.
Yeah. And basically he gets it up, and as soon as they start to attack Nathan, he shows up and gets him out of there. And the main guy has a crowbar and breaks the window. And it's kind of scary for a second, but they get the car back.
Yeah.
And they're on this high after this. And Nathan's like, oh, we're like the Mitchell brothers, except not bald and ugly and shit. I don't know who the Mitchell brothers are, but
So I was going to ask you. So the Mitchell brothers. So there's a soap over here, TV soap called EastEnders, and back in the 90s, early 2000s, there was a pair of actors who aren't brothers but who played the Mitchell brothers, and they were like these like tough guys, bald heads, quite stocky and that, but they're just notorious. They're very famous in the UK.
Okay.
Phil and Grant Mitchell. Yeah.
So suddenly they hear a knocking in the back, and they're like, oh, okay, that's the dad. We forgot about him. He's in the boot.
They were just like, yeah. They're like, Dad who?
Oh, that guy. Yeah. So they get him out, and of course he's furious, and it doesn't help that Nathan's like, I'll untie you if you promise not to be angry.
I love that.
I can't think of anything new to say about Nathan. He's just so I'm constantly just shaking my head.
He's just like, he's selfish, but also he does it for the right reasons in a way,
kind of,
doesn't he? Yeah,
kind of.
Ish.
It depends on the moment.
Yeah.
So anyway, they pull the dad out, and just as the police show up, so the dude's still tied up, and the police show up, so they're and later at the police station, Nathan's sitting out in the hall with his dad, and they're kind of having a heart-to-heart, kind of. The dad explains, I didn't say anything about your brother because I thought it would just upset your mom. And so Nathan's like, so I don't get a brother because, okay. Yeah. So Nathan's coming back with, oh, okay. So I guess cheating on her and walking out, was you being a good husband, basically.
I like how he calls him out on that, though.
Oh, yeah.
I do like that.
What? We're not doing this.
Yeah. Stands up for his mom there.
Right. And himself,
Yeah, and himself.
Screwed up my childhood.
Yeah.
He's like, and he asked, did you even try to contact my younger brother? And he's like, no, I never even tried. Never talked to him. So the dad says, you and I are alike, Nathan. And Nathan's like, no, we're different, And then he's like, we're not the same. But he goes like, because I'm gracefully tall and you're freakishly short.
Oh.
I mean, even if you look at their face, though, they look like they could be related.
Yeah, I mean,
they just kind of...
the guy who plays Nathan's dad, I think we mentioned before, is like an actor called Dexter Fletcher, and he's just so well known over here in the UK, and he's a good director and producer as well now. But just to have him in this moment in this show was like, I always remember when I first watched it thinking, oh, it's Dexter Fletcher. Like, it was like proper, like, because we grew up with him over here. He was in a children's program called Press Gang back in the day and things like that. So, yeah. So when they're having that little heart-to-heart thing, it's kind of like, oh. But
even though
also,
it's not really good heart-to-heart.
Yeah.
You're screwed at that. I don't like you.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So his dad comes up, he says his dad asks where he comes up with the stuff he says, and Nathan says, I have a gift. And he does. I wish I had that gift.
Yeah.
With snappy comebacks.
Yeah.
So anyway, so the dad says he doesn't know the other son, and Nathan says, well, it's, you know what, you're probably better off. He's probably better off not knowing you because you're a freaking disappointment. In fact, Nathan says he's lucky not knowing him, and I wish I didn't know you.
Oh.
And the dad seems kind of hurt and also a little pissed off by this.
Yeah.
So he just stands up and walks off. Yeah, it's not nice. So Nathan's yelling at him, all right, just right. Walk away with your tiny legs.
Oh, Oh dear! At that
Uh,
moment, that's the only insult he can really think of.
I know, but
which
it's
is just
perfect.
great.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
So the brother gets let out of the questioning, I guess, and Nathan tells him the dad is gone, and he takes his brother back to his little hiding spot at the community center, where the brother passes out, and Nathan covers him up all tenderly with a blanket. It's it's kind of sweet.
Yeah,
He's trying to be a big brother.
Yeah.
I don't know how much older he is. I guess a couple of years.
They don't look that much older than each other.
They really don't. They look like they're.
Yeah,
I thought Nathan was the younger brother at first.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. Did we get a resolution on how old he is? Because it could be that he had the affair around the same time as Nathan was born. Maybe it was like similar timelines,
same age group, kind of.
Yeah,
I don't know. Possible. Anyway, so I'm assuming it's the next day, and we're at the community center, and Alicia's walking around, and above her, you hear that masked person is parkouring like crazy all above her.
Oh, he's so hot.
Oh, I know. And so she does this like quick run up the stairs to try to catch him, and she gets her phone out, and starts making a video of him, and he's like jumping off the roof, and he sees her, and he basically lets her take this video of him jumping off the roof or off the balcony. And elsewhere, Nathan walks his brother out of the center, and he sees Simon, who asks about him. And Nathan says he's always wanted a brother that he can mentor and teach stuff like dancing. And Simon's like, well, can you dance? And Nathan says, well, I'll get lessons, because that's what brothers do for one another.
He's so protective already.
I know.
Of his,
okay, sure, you get lessons. Take some tango. So he asks Simon if he and his brother, he asks Simon if he has a brother, and Simon's like, no, I have a sister. And so this prompts Nathan. He's like, really? Why didn't you introduce us? Because I can tell you, I can be really, really gentle with her. And I can, teach her things.
Be respectful.
And be really respectful. Simon's like, she's 12. And Nathan's like, he backtracks so quick. He's like, well, I mean, let her wait a couple more years. Like, a couple?
It's just Simon's deadpan delivery of that line. It's just like chef's kiss.
She's
12.
Like, no.
Like, what on earth is he on about now?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the social worker walks up, and he says to Nathan, anything you want to tell me? And Nathan says, I don't know where the booze in the cafeteria is going. I have no idea. And I'm like, dumbass, shut up. You don't offer up information. So, the social workers know about you sneaking off to the pub yesterday. And Nathan's like, oh, yeah, I forget about that missing booze stuff. And the social worker only scolds him and walks off. And I'm like, what? And Nathan does this miming a wink behind him. And the guy catches him and just kind of goes, whatever. And then goes back inside. I kind of like the social worker.
Yeah, I didn't
remember him, but I remember now. I'm like, I kind of liked him.
I just like the way he's just like, just let him get on with it. I don't care.
I don't really care. Yeah.
No.
So later on, the group is spraying bug spray. It looks like maybe.
Yeah, I thought
something
it was
like
bug
that.
Spray.
That's what it looked like. And Alicia shows the group of the video that she took of the masked vigilante person. And Simon's like, oh, I bet you that's the guy who sent us the note to check Nathan's grave.
Oh, yeah.
Like, well, because Simon uses his brain.
Yeah, he's very clever.
So, yeah. And Nathan casually wonders if this is the same guy that rescued me from the Virtuous Virgins. The guy on the dirt bike that showed up and cycled him out of there. And Nathan's like, yeah, I was about to kick everybody's ass, including girls. And looks at Ellie and Alicia, and I'm like, why are you trying to tell them you would anyway?
And he's obviously exaggerating at this moment.
I'm going to kick girls' ass too. Yeah, they don't understand why he would keep it to himself. And why didn't you tell anybody this happened? He's like, I don't know. And then he brags about getting a pretty girl's number, and Kelly gets all defensive and saying like I give a shit to him. And Nathan's like,
oh,
we all know she's jealous. She doesn't like that.
She wants a bit of the Nathan.
She wants that Nate. Dirty Nate. After another commercial break, we're back in the locker room, and Nathan is ironing and making a grilled cheese sandwich at the same time.
Yummy.
All that. I don't know if there's butter because how do you make a grilled cheese? Do you make it with butter?
Yeah, you can do. Or sometimes I just do it, plain with a little bit of tomato sauce.
Okay, so you
I
need to
said
use.
that really sultry then.
And I'm like,
Tomato
calm down,
sauce.
calm down. You need to try it with mayonnaise. Put mayonnaise on the
Ooh.
butter, that the side you're going to fry on the pan. Put it on that
Yeah.
side, and I
Yeah.
trust you. It's a little. It's better
Ooh.
than butter because it won't burn.
Yeah.
Well, you can burn it obviously, but it won't. It takes a while longer to do that.
Ooh,
Butter
that
burns a lot
sounds
quicker.
nice.
It's
Yeah,
really
I'm gonna
good,
try
actually.
that. Yeah,
Try it
I'm gonna
out.
try that, and I'll let you know.
Dustin's cooking corner.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Yum yum.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, he's making this grilled cheese, and he tells his brother that he should, you should try to connect with our dad. And the brother's like, nah, I'm good, thanks. And he's like, maybe you'll have a better chance at it, Nathan. And then Nathan's like, no, because when I was like 9 years old or something, he went on my birthday. Dad took me to IKEA, and he bought all this stuff and put it all in the car and didn't have room for me, so he just left me there. He left me at IKEA for 3 hours by myself, and this weird guy with a white beard, I think that's what he said.
Yeah.
Like, he called him a pedophile or pedophile, and said he bought him lunch and ice cream. And he's like, did he do anything? He goes, no, Dad showed up while we were finishing up the ice cream. And
you can just imagine the lunch was probably, they always go on about IKEA meatballs. So it was probably like meatballs.
I'm sorry, I've had them. They're not that great.
I've never tried them.
I mean, they weren't for me. I thought I was going to like them, but I've had like frozen Swedish meatballs that were better than the IKEA ones. That's just, yeah. That's me. That's all I'm like.
You've had better balls.
Yeah, I've had better balls. Thanks. Meteor balls. So yeah. Anyway, so what's sad is that they walk outside and Nathan sees his dad parked out there waiting, and like he kind of because the brother's back is turned and he sees them and they kind of meet eyes, and the dad just kind of gets frustrated or something and leaves. He drives off.
Yeah.
Anyway, so later on at a random warehouse, Nathan and his little brother go to like a party or a rave where the other Misfits are hanging out. They're there already. And Nathan sees that bartender girl and says hi. And when he touches her side, he's like, hi. He kind of just grabs her by the side. His hand like freezes out of instinct. He's like, she gets freaked out. And then she's like, I'm sorry for being a quote, frigid bitch.
Oh, I really feel sorry for her, but...
Yeah, I do. I feel sorry for her. But you know what, though? It's kind of like that Alicia thing going on. Like, you can't touch her. But at the same time, I was like, oh, but that's a cool, like, nickname for, like, a superpower. I'm frigid, like.
Yeah, I love that.
I would love that. Sorry for being a frigid bitch.
Who's that in the sky? Frigid bitch.
So Nathan tells her that his brother doesn't even know anyone has powers, so don't say anything, right? And so the little brother, he kind of seems to be hitting on Chelley a little bit, which I'm like...
Yeah, I thought that. I was like, oh, Chelley.
No, look at her. And so he's like, you want some pills? And she's like, okay, sure. And so he gives her pills, and everyone except Simon takes one. He's like, I don't take drugs. And he's like, oh, okay. He goes, oh, what's that over there? And Simon turns and he drops a pill in his beer.
Which is a big no-no, really.
You don't spike somebody's... You don't know what's going to do to them. There's a reason why people don't do things sometimes. You don't understand.
Yeah.
Yes. Don't spike people's stuff. Just because you want them to have a good time.
No.
They'll have a good time on their own.
Let them have their choice. Yeah.
Yes.
Let them have their choice.
So the gang's all dancing, and Nathan's brother asks Nathan to choose a girl. Choose one of the girls. You want Chelley or you want the bartender? And so Nathan he decides he wants Chelley more, and the brother goes off to dance with the bartender. It's kind of nice that he did that.
Yeah.
I guess they're choosing women like...
Well, yeah.
Women don't have any choice, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying. So,
I get what you mean.
Nathan, he talks to Chelley, and she's like chewing the air, kind of like, and he's like, yeah. She goes, I think the pills that your brother gave me are messing up my powers, because she starts saying everything that she's thinking. For instance, she tells Nathan that sometimes I love you. I think I love you. And you have to say, you know. I always spell it Fooking.
I love that.
Love ya.
I love ya.
And then she gets scared because she thinks that you're just going to hurt me like most guys do, you know.
Oh, and the
and
true
then she's like,
feelings come out, don't they? It's like,
yeah. And she's like, I don't want you to be a
Chelley.
useless prick like your dad.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah,
But
that is like, but truthful.
Yeah.
Mm.
So Nathan confesses that with the brother, he played eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And I got the bartender girl, I wanted, but I went ahead and gave it to him anyway.
Oh, Nathan.
I'm like, why would you tell that to her? Like,
yeah.
I was wondering, though, when he said that, but it's Nathan, so you can't really tell if maybe her power also projected other people to say what was on their minds.
Oh, that would have been interesting, yeah.
Because it wouldn't have just been her thoughts coming out. It would have been everybody's thoughts coming out.
Everybody's. Oh, yeah, that's a good theory. I like that.
Which is what makes sense why he would just confess that to her all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's like, well, maybe I'll just let Jamie have you instead. I'm like, oh, Jamie's the brother's name. Thank you. Thank you for giving us the brother's name.
Hallelujah. We know his name.
So he walks off. And after another commercial break, Alicia's pill kicks in. And when Curtis touches her, he like yells at her, get away from me, you skanky bitch, and like throws her down. It's like, what? So no one's turned on.
Total opposite to normal.
Yeah. So she gets up and tries to run through the crowd. Everybody's touching her and just yelling at her and like putting her down as she leaves. I'm like, that would suck. Like, don't touch me. Like, stop wearing things where your arms and other parts of your body are bare, Alicia.
Yeah, she doesn't cover up, does she?
Like don't go to a club if you can't wear a sweater or something,
Yeah, because she must know physically. Like, she can't cross that dance floor. There's no way without being touched.
Right. Somebody's got to touch her to at some point. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, so Curtis's pill kicks in right after she leaves, and it fast forwards to him being in a green superhero outfit, like the cape and everything,
and
standing on the edge of a roof. Yeah, it's kind of, And he's standing on the edge of this roof, and then some woman walks up and hits on him and says something like, hey, big boy, whatever. And she starts to take her clothes off because she, quote, doesn't want to get on her dress.
I mean, we've all been there.
What is happening? What? I don't know.
Oh, dear.
So, yeah, she kisses him and she looks really familiar. Like I know her from something. Is that?
She was, after Misfits, she was in Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D.
Maybe I'm that. Sure. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I didn't really watch that, but
yeah, I'm sure that's what she was in.
She's probably been in other bit parts that I've seen her in, but
yeah.
Anyway, so he pulls away. He's like, I can't do this right now. I'm sorry. And she's like, what? And then he jumps back to present day. And then he goes off to find Alicia.
Yeah. I thought that was a pretty cool scene, actually. I really liked that.
What? What's going on? And why are you wearing a superhero outfit?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. But so anyway, at the same time, Simon is feeling his pill kick in too. And some girl walks up and says, you're f***ing amazing.
Oh, I love this for Simon.
This is actually kind of cool because and asks him to dance. And so he's like, okay, sure. And then so he smiles and does like, he hits the dance floor with her and he starts doing all these moves like with his hands. Yeah. And then you see everybody around him doing the exact moves that he is doing. Like they're just all copying him.
I love how he just becomes that center of attention. It's brilliant.
Okay, so every once in a while this would happen to me at school. Like I would be at a school dance and I would start dancing. And at one point I would dance and I was doing a move over and over. And apparently a whole bunch of people behind me were doing it with me. And I had no idea. It was like, she's all that. And everybody's like dancing the same dance move.
So cool.
You know what I mean? And I was like, and I didn't know until I stopped and someone goes, dude, you had a whole bunch of people behind you doing that move. I'm like, what? I missed that? Man.
I love that.
I know. I wish that would happen again more often.
Yeah.
Life needs to be a musical.
Yeah. We all just need to follow Dustin's dance moves because they'd be super cool anyway.
Follow me. I won't write you. I won't put you in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So later on in the toilet, sorry, that's a transition.
Classic.
Classic Nathan. He needs paper as Simon walks in. And like, why are always, especially in this show and other shows too lately, guys are just taking in public toilets, like the club or a
Yeah.
restaurant. Like, I try not to go number 2 in public unless it's absolutely
Yeah.
necessary.
Same.
So are they just not eating very healthy and it's just coming out?
Yeah, they just don't care. It was the 2000s, YOLO.
You only live once. You only once, maybe.
Yeah.
You only every day. But so Simon hands him toilet paper because he doesn't have any, and he says, "I feel weird, and everyone's looking at me." And Nathan's like, "Oh, well, Jamie spiked your drink, and you should just take advantage of the situation and take a girl home." And Simon says, "You're not supposed to use your powers like that." And Nathan says, "Well, we can start you off with a prostitute or something." And there's one on the estate that doesn't look so great after the accident, but she's clean enough for somewhat Simon wants. I'm like, what the hell after the accident?
I love how Nathan knows so much about like the women on the estate.
Ugh, Jesus, Nathan. So yeah, Nathan he leaves to find Jamie and Lily, and Simon yells after him, make sure you don't get killed, Simon. Or excuse me, Simon says, Nathan, make sure you don't get killed because the pills, right?
Yeah.
Who knows what the pills would do? Like, I wanted to know kind of what would have happened.
Yeah, but then it's another example as well that Simon has figured it out before anyone else has figured it out what's going on. So
even in his like altered state. Yeah.
Yeah, but I would love to have known what would have happened, even though I love Nathan. It would be interesting.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, so Jamie and Lily, they're starting to hook up, and her pill kicks in, and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm burning up." And I'm like, "Oh God, spontaneous human combustion." I just know it. And Jamie's looking at her, and she's like, "Oh, don't worry, you're fine, you're beautiful." And then she's like scratching on his back, and like flames are coming out of her fingernails on his back. I'm like, "What, do you feel that?"
Special effects. Yeah.
It was cool looking. It really was cool looking. Nathan walks out, and the pill kicks in for him as he sees, Jamie and Lily hooking up in the car, and suddenly the car goes up in flames, and it's going to explode, and the masked guy comes and tackles him out of the way of the explosion, and Nathan's like, "Oh my God, Jamie, oh my God," and he's freaking out, and he finally sees Jamie's on the outside of the car, and he's, "Oh good, thank God, you're fine." And he sees the guy, Simon comes outside and sees that, "Oh good, I made it in time, Nathan's okay," and then he sees the masked guy running off. So Simon follows him, and it keeps going. He's following him all night, and he follows him all day to this like random place, I guess a random apartment, and the guy goes in. And so Simon kind of follows him, or no, he goes in, and so Simon takes note of where he went. It's like I don't know. So he goes in and he goes out the window, and so you're like, "Oh, that was a decoy." But Simon doesn't know that.
No.
Right. Anyway, back at the community center. That was a weird way for me to explain that. I don't know why, but it was so strange why I did that.
Yeah.
Hey, anyway.
You explained it well for a strange scene, like how to explain it.
Wait. Anyway, I was confusing myself. At the community center, Jamie tells Nathan how Lily pushed him out of the car, but now she's dead. Crap. And
extreme.
Yeah. He said like a person bursting into flames like that isn't normal. And so Nathan tells him, "Oh, it was the storm, blah, 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 blah. We all got powers."
I love how he just confesses.
Yeah, Jamie doesn't even feel like phased by it at all.
No. Yeah, he just accepts it. A little like how Nathan's accepted him. He just accepts what Nathan's saying to him at the same time.
Face value. All right. Okay, whatever. Anyway, so Jamie reconsiders seeing, he's like, Nathan, you need to go see Dad. And Nathan's like, "I don't think that would help. No, I'm good." And Jamie's like, "Look, I hit the dad with the toaster and put it in the boot of the car. You're in good terms with him as far as I'm concerned." And Nathan's like, "No, I don't want to go though. I don't want to do it."
Yeah.
So elsewhere, Alicia talks about how her power didn't change much in either way because she's untouchable. Even if she took that pill, she was being untouchable. Your power kind of sucks. That's why.
Yeah, that's not great.
Yeah. And Curtis kind of just he skims over there. He's like, yeah, I flashed forward. I was in a superhero outfit on the edge of the building. And he kind of just skips the whole point of a pretty woman showed up and tried to make out with me.
He misses that little bit out.
Yeah, Alicia kind of knows something else.
Yeah, because obviously at this point, him and Alicia are, they're going along in their relationship and their little, little trysts that they have.
Yeah.
Or try to have.
So she kind of knows. She knows him a little bit better now. Anyway, after another commercial break, we come back where Nathan is with Jamie knocking on the dad's door. And when the dad answers, Nathan immediately socks him in the nose. And the dad gets right back to him. It's like father-son bonding.
Yeah.
He goes, why'd you do that? Why'd you hit me? Because I don't know. It just felt like the right thing to do. Or something like that. Wham! Wham! Like right back. Oh, so they go inside, and then a lot gets said about how the dad left Nathan at the IKEA with a pedophile. And of course, the dad doesn't remember it because for some reason, when parents traumatize us and we bring it up to them later, they don't remember it.
Don't remember.
That's happened with me several times. I'm like, no, you don't remember this big event. Nope, don't remember that.
Oh.
How did you not remember this?
How do you not remember it? Yeah, exactly.
That's a big thing. That means like you were doing something horrible. Took the place of that memory. Like you did something even worse.
Yeah.
Anyway. So he starts to go off about how it could have been, different for the dad and Jamie. And the dad's like, stop it. Don't do that. Don't talk about Jamie that way. And he's like, what do you mean? He goes, Jamie's dead. He says,
dum, dum,
what?
dum.
Nathan finds out that he died in that car. Boom. Did not see that coming.
No, that was I remember when I first saw this episode back in the day, and that was like a real shock moment. Like, oh, really?
Yeah, but then I was like, but at first when they say that he's dead, they don't announce that it happened in the car. I thought it was like he'd been dead the whole time.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
and I was like, wait, that doesn't make sense. Everybody saw him. Like, it was really weird, but I finally was in the car. Okay.
And funny how it kind of foreshadows Robert Sheehan's character in Umbrella Academy as well, a little bit there.
There's a lot. Well, they have similar powers. That's why.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, Nathan's like, what are you talking about? He's standing right here. And then the dad looks at him like, what? And then he goes, oh, here's my phone. Jamie's mother's calling me. He steps out. And so Nathan is like, I don't understand what's going on. And then he figures out that, oh, my immortality is something about that. It's making me be able to see you. That's what he thinks, I guess.
Yeah.
But then I have to go, but wouldn't he be seeing ghosts all the time? If that were the case?
Yeah, that's true. Like, or is it still the effect of the drug that he had, maybe? Maybe that's what happened to him when he took the drug. It kind of reversed it, that he could see the dead people. People.
Okay, yeah, I can get that.
Yeah, maybe.
That's interesting. Because I don't think he does that later on. I don't remember him talking to dead people.
That's what I mean. I don't recall that coming up again, so I'm just going to hazard a guess it was still in his system, and that's why you could see him.
Right. You're probably right. Chelley knows what's best.
Boo! We should come up with jingles, I
really need some jingles, just like random things, like listen to what Dustin says. It'll be the same tune over and over. So yeah. Anyway, so I'm trying to remember where I was at.
Got distracted by the jingle.
I know I did. Okay, so anyway, Nathan says that he wants to fix Jamie's situation, but Jamie's like, I'm not feeling too bad about being dead. And Jamie just I want you to sort things out with our dad. He tells that to Nathan. I just want you to fix things. And Nathan doesn't think it's possible, but Jamie says, just try. So Nathan goes outside, and the dad tells him how he visited the hospital when Jamie was born, but he didn't know how to choose between Jamie and his mom or Nathan and his mom. So he admits he wasn't there for either of them, and he's been a selfish prick, and he apologizes.
Which I thought was quite... Yeah.
Well, he's seeing like the error of his ways. You're starting to see
Yeah.
that when, him kind of
Seeing how
watching after them in the
wrong.
car later on,
Yeah.
and you can see he's actually pondering it. He is feeling bad about the way he has taken his life. So Jamie tells Nathan, I will haunt you for the rest of your life if you don't try to make up with him. So Nathan's like, I'm starving. Are you going to buy me breakfast or what?
Yeah. Classic.
Abrupt, but okay. It's nice. Anyway, so in the parking garage, as they leave, Nathan looks over and sees Jamie and Lily walking away. Like, Jamie's arms around her, like, oh, I did my part. And they're walking away. But he mouths to Nathan, I'm her. And he walks away, and Nathan's like, oh, that is my brother,
That's love.
That's love. And later on in the community center locker room, Kelly walks up to Nathan as he finishes changing and asks how he is. And Nathan says, I've been hanging out with my dead brother and I see dead people now. Because of course he does.
Yeah.
But that doesn't, like I said, I think it's probably the pill.
Yeah.
He doesn't see dead people now.
Perhaps he just thinks that he does.
Well, because of the,
Yeah.
So Kelly tells him she's sorry about Jamie and that Nathan was there for him. And it's a kind of a cute little moment.
Yeah.
And that's when Simon walks in and says, hey, I followed that masked guy and I know where he lives. So we all need to go and talk to him.
Dum, dum, dum.
Cut 2, they show up at an apartment and ring the doorbell, but there's no answer. So Kelly just doesn't care. She just grabs a chair and just throws it through the door window to smash it to get inside.
Yeah.
Go Kelly.
Love that.
And as we enter, there's a masked guy in a rooftop in the background watching them. So you're like, oh no. So they're inside, they're rummaging, they find a bunch of girls' clothes, and Simon says, something isn't right here. And Alicia thinks, well, it could be a cross-dresser. Okay. Not quite.
That's where her mind goes, though.
Oh, cross-dresser. Like,
yeah.
maybe not. And Nathan says, I'm going to shit in his bed to send a message like in The Godfather. And Simon's like, that was a horse's head in The Godfather. He goes, well, do you have a horse's head? He goes, no. So logically, it's the next step.
I'd love to be in Nathan's brain. Like, how is that the next step?
I'd be scared to be in Nathan's brain.
Yeah.
But yeah. He, the fact that he just does it, he just drops trowel right there and everybody is standing there watching. Like, we're leaving the room. He was actually, and he was squeezing to let it go. Like,
yeah, don't we get some like sound effect as well, like or something? I'm not sure. I might have made that up in my head.
I don't like to picture people pooping. I just don't like it. But
no.
Don't like it.
No.
It's not a turn on for me. Anyway, they leave him to it, and they wonder why this guy led Simon there. And Curtis gives up, and he's going to leave. But as he does, he walks out and he runs into the flat's occupant. And it's the same girl that he saw in his flash forward that he started making out with in the superhero costume. End of episode.
It's such a good end of episode, that is. I loved it.
It was. Yeah. It was very good. I love it. I just love how much happens in each episode.
Yeah.
Even though it's so short. I don't know how that happens, but it works out that way.
Strength of the writing, isn't it? Definitely.
It is very good. And just like keeping up with everything and, interweaving all other stories somehow.
Yeah.
They did a really good job on the show.
Yeah, definitely.
So thank you for joining us, rewatchers. Shelley and I are happy you joined us again, and come back next week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come back next week for another Series 2 episode of Misfits. You can find us on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to be alerted when we have new episodes there. Or, just follow us on wherever you listen to podcasts if you're not already doing that. Do that, please. And, rate, review, all that good stuff. Leave some comments.
Yeah.
We want it. Spotify does comments now, so do that. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
It would be cool. I would love that.
Yeah.
You can find a lot of stuff on the link tree. There's like a song playlists for Spotify. I have like TV theme songs and pop songs and stuff on that. You can also find the merch store, and I've got some interesting items on there you can buy. You can just, hang around. There's actually links to TV shows and whatnot that we've covered. So check it out.
So much Dustin everywhere. So much rewatch recap everywhere.
Yeah. Laid it all out for you. Yeah. All right. Come back next week. We'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.